Okay, welcome. I should be live now. Let me check the chat. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the stream. Today we're going to do another feedback session as we do every other Sunday. The other Sundays we do challenge streams, but for today we're going to be doing feedback. The way this is going to work is I'm just going to be waiting for the tracks to roll in, and once we have enough tracks to react to, we're going to do a feedback session. That way I'm not pausing every time the things that I'm actually doing, which today is going to be a little bit of an experiment regarding kick and bass. So what I essentially want to do with regarding to the kick and bass part is I want to redesign the kick and bass or the bassline instrument that I made for that video, the cleanest bassline like ever, I think, something like that I called it. I think most of you guys have seen that video, but for those who haven't seen the video, it has this one instrument that I was trying to pull up. This auto bass in here, which is essentially a very, very complex bass patch with a whole bunch of like automatic modulations, which creates a very good sounding bassline that does not need to be resampled. So this is it. Oh, it's way too loud. Something like that, and then you have parameters like this, which is like the tonality. We have like a phase. Bunch of different parameters and stuff like that. So what I want to do with that is I want to implement it all in one sound factory patch, if possible. So that way I have it, instead of opening up as a whole bunch of different like effects and different things that I need, it should all be one plugin with one patch inside. So that's the final goal, or like the separate goal, separate to the feedback. If you want feedback on your track, I think you guys know how the drill is. You can type !feedback, and the bot should start to activate soon. Hello Greedo, Liquid Mirror, Malogify, Cider is also here. The bot is still sleeping, I think. Let's see if I can wake it up myself. Dashboard. You're not submitting tracks this time? It's okay. Hopefully I can still entertain you with the feedback I provide to others. Oh, the whole website is having loading issues, I think. It does not seem to want to let me into the dashboards. Maybe just need some time to activate. It hasn't seen yet that I'm streaming. I'm just going to check if all of the commands that I need are enabled. Yes, they are. Okay, so the bot still needs a little bit of time. Is the stream provided as a VOD in advance? All of my streams stay up on my channel, in the live tab on my channel, so you should be able to see them. Okay, now the bot is running. !feedback should guide you to my Discord channel, which is right here. And if you enter my Discord channel and you scroll down to here, there is a particular part where you can submit your tracks for feedback. Everything under this, and I'm going to wait for the tracks to roll in as always, and then we're going to get into the feedback. But what I want to do, as I said before, is work on this thing here. So what I want to do is, with this wavetable, I need to have one that has no sub bass, so that I can switch between them. And this plugin window is a little bit big now, so make it a little bit smaller. For that, what I'm going to do is I'm quickly going to open up Serum. Hello Klaus. Hello Andre. Any other names? Malogify also here. I maybe already said hello. Alex, how are you doing? was working on a track from the challenge stream, but am unable to join this time. It's not going to be a challenge today, so for the feedback, you can send the track as feedback. I want this one. Nice, and now I can go in here, process, remove fundamental. Ah, you have to go already. That's unfortunate. We'll see you. Okay, so now we have the wavetable that we need, and I think I can load it up again. Import normalize no fundamental. Yes. So this is it without a fundamental. I want to set this to there. I want to set the same phase. 6, 3. I don't know, I just tuned that by ear, the phase. And what I would like to do is set this here and here. Both of these should be the same. And now this can be used to set the phase of both of these oscillators combined. And I think I can set by first parameter here. And then we set the default and does that matter? No. It should be lower than that, like that. And we have to give this a name and a group. So the name is going to be phasing amount, and this will be the main controls. This is just for it to show up on here, essentially. That way it's immediately there when I open up the plugin and I don't have to go in here. So now we need to distinguish the nodes between this one and this one, right? So that sometimes it plays without a sub and sometimes it plays with a sub. So I would like to get some kind of selector, if that's possible. I want like two inputs and, two inputs and one output. I go input 1 and input 2, and it needs to steal that. Okay, so now both go into this summing thing. And I would like to select between the two. This can go to silence, so that's perfect. That means that we can learn a modulator to that. Learn this to here and here. And I can set up the values. One goes like silence, and this goes, this goes silence here. So they alternate, essentially. And then we want to set a saw wave. Also, we need to synchronize it. Rate, we want, here, sync, that's it. And then we can set a phase which we want to start, I think, higher. Let's see what it's doing now. In the effects, let's quickly go. Let's remove these two because I don't need them anymore. Oh, and then control click this. That seems to have a sub bass in it. This then also. So for some reason they still both have the sub bass, like both parts, right? So I think I need to synchronize this to the project somehow. No smoothing, we want a rectangle. Stepping. Type straight. It doesn't really seem to work properly. Let's clear that. I think I need to maybe have like a crossfade, if that's somehow available. I'm going to check in a little bit if there's already submissions. There's already one. As I said, we'll have a few of them before we get into this now is nothing, before we get into the feedback. Let's try this LFO instead. LFO. This. And this to LFO1 as well. Okay. So this one should go negative. This one positive, I think. And then we can set the LFO again to saw. Synchronize it 1/6. Okay, I don't want this to re-trigger, if possible. Okay. Hello, MindB. This is just the one. I want to invert the phase, I think, and then set both to 0. So this is just this, but phase inverted. Ah, no, wait. I'm doing this wrong. This needs to be unipolar. And then in... Wait, where? This goes down, and this needs like a maximum. Maximum of 0. There's no way to set that in dB. That's not useful. Zero dB. 50%. And I think we do the same with this one. This is also 50% then. now it's still re-triggering by the note. I would like to disable that if possible. I would think that it would be here. Stop at note off. We don't want it to do that. Or is this for individual voices maybe? That might be it. Now if we... Oh, we have to remove this again. So Alt. Off. That's it. Here. Here. Off. So I think it is this modulator, but I just set it up wrong last time. 0 and to 0. Oh. I think last time I did set up this the right way, but I might have synced it wrong, because it should be 1/4 and then like this. Yeah, now this part has no sub, which is exactly what we want. Perfect. Hello Sai, hello Side. We're just working on some very advanced bass patchery. This, and this on. Okay. I would like the velocity to scale a little bit more maybe. Or maybe I just need to set it a little bit lower in here. Yeah. Okay, what I would like is a little bit of extra click coming from it. If you have a track, feel free to submit on Discord. Yes, exactly. Exclamation point feedback to submit it. Let's see how many tracks we have. We still only have one. If we have a few more, I'm going to be starting to listen to them, popping up the analyzers and stuff like that. Okay, so for the extra click, here's the filter that is creating our click, and that is using mod 1. Now, I think I can sum modulators together. I go in here. Is there a way to see all of the parameters that are going to this? Or can I just add an extra parameter on the list, like this one? Then set it to an envelope for the extra click. It should be working, right? I can check if that works by turning this one off. Yeah, so that's not doing anything. Did I set up the wrong thing? Ah, I didn't turn this one on. Aha. Why is this one now not working? Can you only target one? Oh, that's annoying. Where can we send them? Exclamation point feedback to get the link. Have you deal with tinnitus yet? No. Fortunately enough, I have not had to deal with that yet. Okay, so this approach does not work for extra click. So we need to get all of the click out of this. This makes no sense there. Okay, so now it's no longer doing this. Ah, yes, okay, of course. Let's have a look at what that looks like. Okay, that looks very, very clean. No post ringing, perfect. That's because I'm adding the volume after the filter. And again, we have wavetables that use the same wavetable as that other patch does. Okay, so what did I want to check? Oh yeah, I quickly wanted to up the phasing amount a bit. Something like that. That's cool. Let's see, maybe there is a better way to modulate this. Or other type of modulators. Unfortunately, some of the good modulators are in here, like this. I guess the envelope one? No, not the envelope, the attack one. I'd like to have something like this. I could implement the filter here now. Yeah, I can just do the filter in here. This is set in octaves though. Okay, so we can have a frequency. Perfect, perfect. Okay, so now I can go in here and then set attack 1 for the filter. Oh, and here I can sum things together actually. That's good. Music festivals, yeah. Yeah, that seems to be a big problem. Ooh, that's not what I want. There's a lot of experts saying that you need like earplugs, and that seems like a good idea nowadays with the speakers being as loud as they are. Okay, that's perfect. Just need to set its modulation amount up, right? What is the highest frequency? Wow. So we can now control click this. And, oh, not the envelope. We can change the attack if we wanted to. Actually, the way we should do this is in the modulation amount again. So these are going to sum together. What I'm going to do is set a maximum of 22k-ish. And then we're going to use attack number 2 times. And what I would like is to use one of these parameters, but I don't think that that's possible unless you use the custom one. I think we checked this before. The custom processed, hence the need being modulated. Okay, so here we want create custom. And the way this was done is like this, modulating that, I think. Learn all the way up there. And we'll try this in a little bit. If we set this back, we go into here. Does not seem to be the way to do that. Actually, can I map that? Yes. And then we invert. Actually, we don't need this then. Remove that one and we invert this. The more we give it, the more click we get. And I think I want to lower this by quite a lot. And lower this by a little bit. So what we can do then is we can essentially make another shape in here of 16 nodes. Did you consider making your own plugin? Yes, I have considered that, actually. Fun that you ask. So this, I wanted to make an additive synthesizer for the longest time, because additive synthesis I think is underexplored. So now these two should be working together. Okay, I can lower this sustain amount a little bit. I want to get very, very low, because what I would like to do next is add a little bit of extra frequency in here. So if I bring this like back, right? I essentially have a tonal component. Cutoff end. I think I called it main controls, the other one. And this is click main controls, which means that we have all three of them in the main control panel. I want this one to be on the same row, and I want the click or this one to be on the same row. So now we should have, yeah, phasing amount, click, and a cutoff. I'll go back into edit. For the cutoff, I can set by first parameter, and the default will be like 250. .250 is like a nice standard, I would say. That's sounding nice. Okay, let's see how many tracks we have now. 1, 2 tracks. My first time making funk. Interesting. For everybody who wants to submit your track for feedback, exclamation point feedback, and then I will be listening to them. So what I would like to do next is a little bit of a crazy idea. I want to make an equalizer in here. And I think that that's possible. If you take one of these, there's a whole bunch of like different parameter modes, I think. Meter, bank, trigger. Where was that? The type. That's the panel type. Ah, this is it. Yeah, you can have like sliders, stuff like that. XY paths. Meters. And I don't know what these orders are. Let's see. A test control. And then this will be test panel. And we can check what all of these are. So let's start with order big. I need to add parameters, I think. Let's go back to the edit here. And let's create, I don't know, a filter on here. And I'm going to learn. You know what, actually? Let's try to do it right the first time. I'll click this thing. I'm not going to be learning anything. I will be adding this EQ here. The way I would like to do this is with sliders for each of them. If I set this to slider label next to it, and I call this um, 250, the idea. Then this will be at 250 Hertz. We'll do like a few of them. Let's start actually with 80 Hertz. Right, because I want to set points that you might want to EQ. And then I want this to learn the gain here. I think I can do it like that. Yeah, not the frequency, just the gain. Minimal value will go like from -6 to 6. I like to have fairly broad control, because that's nice. I'm going to set this to control display. The next thing I should maybe do is set this maybe high, like a shelf. I'm gonna do a shelf at 65. 65. I think I can arrange this again if I go into the manager. I can move these around, I think. Yeah. And I can set this to learn its frequency and thing, I think. Again, now I have to set this to 65. We'll set these differently, like 80, maybe I'm thinking more like 100 Hertz, because then it can target the first harmonic in most of the cases. So this will be set, this will be hard-coded at 100 Hertz. And now here we need to do the same thing where we set this to slider label next to it. Set this to control 1, this will be test panel, and this will be 65 shelf. Right? If I now go out here, it's both in percentages, and it's not really looking nice here in terms of the spacing. I think there's a way to fix that if I go label next to it, label aligned for all of them. Label aligned. I need to set minimum and maximum values here too. I need to remove this. I'm going to set this to -6 and 6. And both of these should take the first parameter value. That one has it. This one should get it too, first parameter. Now we have like an EQ setup for low frequencies. We're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4 more things, I guess. So we'll have like a 6-band EQ, which would be like the standard only. I hope that I can make this a little bit nicer than just sliders like this. Maybe I can put them like that. That would be nice. I think it's like this actually. Bars and then bars and right. Yes, okay. And I think now any multi-parameter that you put in between also falls in the bar. But I would like to have the Y be bigger. That's possible. Is there a way to set this group bigger? I don't know. There must be a way to like do the interface, but I don't know what that would be. What I first want to do quickly is to set 1, 2, 3, 4 more parameters up. This is going to learn this one. I'm just going to try to do it as quickly as possible. Okay, this is going to do this one. This is going to do this one. And this is going to learn frequency for that. So the minimum will be like 5 and that. This will be high pass 24 dB. Frequency, it's going to take the first parameter. The default will be the highest. Yeah, and this will be the highest as well. Test panel. I need to set this. This will be frequency is this. This is 500. Going to only set gain -6 to 6. Origin of 0. At the test panel, I think I don't need to change the editor mode for these ones because they're going in the middle. The only one that I should change is this one back to a normal later, and then this one to the end. I think that's how it works. I need to set this, by the way, to the right frequency. 2500. The next one is going to be 550. That's this one, 550. And once we have the test panel working, I'm going to rename that, obviously, from -6 to 6. I never normally want to EQ this positively, but I'm going to leave it in for versatility's sake. Now this is going to go exactly to 550. And then this will be 250. this panel. Move that. It can this -626. This is all set up perfectly. And then this just needs to be 250. Okay, so now essentially our EQ should be hard-coded. The thing that I need to do is set this to 0 here for all of these. That can go like that. And this also goes to 0. Here and here. Okay, so this is without any EQing. If I now go into the edit panel, oh yeah, I need to set the end property. So this isn't going to be the end, this is going to be a normal. Instead, you are going to be the bar's end. Now if I go to edit, we do have this bar. I would like it to be longer and smaller. Is that possible? I go in here, resizable Y. Myself. It is very, very complex, but there is a way to resize the GUI, I think, here. This is just like a control. Oh, I didn't make the manual thing. I don't want to do this, the manual making. Melda. Resize group. I'm loading up the whole manual now, so that I can check it out. In the meantime, I'll check out how many tracks we have. Oh, we have quite a few. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more. Okay, let's then first go into listening to some tracks. Turn this off. And I should have audio in here, and this should show up on the analyzers. Oh. Ableton does not seem to like opening up these. It seems to be frozen. I'm ending the task and even that isn't working. Oh, there we are. Okay, so that patch is lost. That's very unfortunate. I did not save that going into it. I think I can open it up again. Hopefully this does not cause too many problems as long as I keep Signalizer itself closed. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to reload Signalizer for here. It's just going to recover the live set. I highly doubt that there's anything in here. Yeah, so all of that progress was lost. RIP. I can remove the analyzers and I can put them back on there, and then hopefully it's going to work. Yeah. There we are. Now it's looking nice and clean. The only thing I need to do is the lower limits. Change that a little bit. Put this in the middle. This on top. I did update the plugin, and I don't want any of that. So I did update the plugin, as you can see. It's looking a little bit smoother. I hope that that's going to continue during playback. Either way, we're going to get into the feedback session now, and I'm just going to be listening to your tracks for a little bit, starting with Liquid Mirror, aka Robin, who's just joined us, with Who Am I? Hopefully it should start playing soon. There we are. Nice scene setting. I like how smooth the analyzers are all of a sudden. Big impact. Getting into a little bit more of a horror scene. I don't know if I like it going completely silent there. Maybe keep a little bit of the strings going, like a long decay or something like that. Since you're going to go back into them anyway. Create a little bit more continuity in the track. I do wonder how you're going to transition here, because I do see the whole waveform of the track and it does seem like a drop is coming. That's nice. I do like the sound design. The only complaint I would maybe have is you set up this very elaborate theme in the intro, which I really like. Maybe have like a choir atmosphere, or anytime you have a little bit of extra silence, put one of those choirs or something from the original theme back in there. Maybe some whispers. Obviously not in this part, because this is high energy. I'm not really a fan of the clap, I'm gonna be honest. I'd much prefer like tight snare. This clap feels more like something for 1/8 notes in terms of groove, right? The offbeat groove kind of thing. The choir is back. It would be nice to have a few higher notes in there, because those stand out a little bit more in the mix. Seem to have a little bit of lack here sometimes of elements. This is where you could put that, right? The overtones of that choir then. Yeah, I do really like everything looking smooth now. I think it's the update, because it's looking really, really good. Not a lot of development here. I was hoping that you would go for a different sound in this part. Now that we're in the break, I quickly want to say it may seem like I'm like fairly negative, but I'm deliberately not pointing out all of the positive things, because otherwise I would be continuously talking over the track.
What do you feel?
Like for example, this vocal is mixed properly. It's perfectly put in there.
Myself.
Right, I could name all of those things and just continue on talking, but I won't do that. I do like that we're back into the choir part. Maybe bring that out a little bit more in this last drop, hopefully. Yeah, like that. This is almost, I would say that this would be a good second drop. If you turn this into the second drop, it would be longer for this part, because your third drop is the shortest. And this is kind of like the euphoric style that you could use in like drop 2, to have drop 2 have its own unique theme. Like all of this stuff that you're doing here. I would rearrange that part to be the main standout part, the drop 2 for this track. The part that you just heard, the melodic part. I do really like that, and it fits the theme very well. And then you have like theming in the intro and theming in the second drop, like in the middle, and then you can go into like a break, which is also themed, and then you'll have a strong cohesive track, in my opinion. But overall, it's, as I said, there's a lot of positive things that I could be saying, but then I would just be talking over the track. I really, really enjoyed this track though. It's very, very good. Very nice submission. Now we have Side, who's going to show us some funk. This is Night Ride. Have a listen. I'm not really familiar with this genre, so... speeding up. This is a bit of a barrage of sound, if you know what I mean. Wait for the goofy drop. I'm scared of drop number 3. Or the third part. If that's going to be the goofy drop. Wow, that was very, very loud for me. I don't know if my voice is coming through when I'm playing stuff that is like mastered. I hope that I'm still understandable. I should be able to turn on like a filter on the desktop audio. If my voice isn't understandable, I can slightly duck the sound under my voice, and then my voice should come over it. It's a wall of sound, but I do really like, as far as Fong Go, I don't really know anything about the genre, but it does sound like solid and well produced, so I'll give you that. It's hard to comment on a genre that you don't know how it's like supposed to be made, right? I'm just going to move on to the next one. Goofy mix using full render instead of stems. Is this the same version then? This is liquidity. Is this different? It is different. This is also by side. Apparently a goofy mix. The sub should be sightening a little bit more, I think, to the kick. Different tracks. Yeah, I saw it in the title. This is very relaxed. I do like this. To get it well mixed, that would be good. I would have the modulation be a little bit more intense on there. Add extra volume modulation, maybe even on the bass. A little bit of like a wobble to follow the wobble that's in the chords. And your chords need a little bit more of a stronger mono mid component, I think. Yeah, this would be future bass. I do really like the vocals that you put in there, that were just in there before. Right? There were vocals in there, right? Liquid DMB. Again, a genre that I don't really understand. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, the variations like we had here, that's very nice. Also this halftime kind of danceable part, where you can move with the chords. This last part is very, very good. Yeah, I would put this in a playlist, if you put it out somewhere. Hey guys, this is my first Psytrance project. This is still in development, but any tips, critiques and roots are welcome. This is first project by Dabavozde. Dabavozde, I don't know who you are in my YouTube chat, but we're going to be listening to your track. Nice atmosphere coming in. A little bit short on the bassline notes, I would say. I was hoping for a little bit more connected kick and bass for that dreamy feeling. That's nice. The kind of vowel lead that you have been using throughout the whole track is getting a little bit stale. I would have removed that a little while ago. Not like throughout the whole track, but have that in the first part of the first drop, and then transition into something new, and then transition into something new. You're kind of stacking elements on top of each other and more. And that's not always kind of like the right progression, because you also need to take away certain things so that you have the space to put your new elements in. And if you're going to introduce like an element like that kind of gritty mid-range lead line, then that needs the space to kind of be perceived. Not even sit in the mix necessarily, but be perceived by the listener. Because like this, the constant adding of sounds is going to create such like a chaotic kind of range of sounds that it's really hard to understand what's going on in the track when the track is playing, right? When you just add element on top of element on top of element. So sometimes if you want to introduce a new main element, you would need to remove the older main elements. Actually, I would advocate for just anytime you want to, for any section in your track, you really only should have one main element and the rest should be supporting elements. That's like the one big tip, I would say. I don't think there's a lot else in terms of like the basics of Ascended like Psytrance track. Structure-wise, it's okay. I can see the kick and bass working, although I said that the bass was a little bit short. And even like in terms of mixing, it's like not that bad for a first attempt. It obviously doesn't really have the professional flair, right? But that's something that just comes with experience. You don't expect that to happen on your first project anyway. Let's see, do we have more? We do have some more messages already. Next up is Klaus. This is Antarctic Storm. Let's see. Also Psytrance.
En fredelig utsikt, snøis, hvit overalt. Så ble vinden vill og stormen kom.
Proper vocal mix.
Arktiske stormen.
This track is building up fast. Is it gonna do that every time? Okay, that was strange. There was a kick that was like out of sync. I do like the idea of this multiple drops almost, because the fills are so long that you would almost call them like mini breaks, and then having the percussions build up so quickly. I'm on break. Nice sounds there. Nice combination.
Så blev vinden vild och stormen kom.
That's a very sudden transition into the break. There was no announcement for that.
I stormen.
I think there might be a little bit of like MP3 compression on the transients of the kick, because they sound different every time. Okay. Very strange sound design, but I really like it. It's wave, not MP3, then there's something wrong with your kick. Because the transient feels off every time. Here also the bassline like completely changes tonality. It is a very classical Klaus kind of psytrance. Nice and fat, well instrumented, good theming, like cool overall instruments and sound design. So it definitely has all of the right things. Again, I'm calling out only the negative things because I don't want to speak on the track too much. And if I were to talk about all of the things that I like in a track, then I would talk over the whole track for the audience. I do feel like that every once in a while I'll just have to say that for any newcomers in the chat who don't know that I'm doing this type of feedback where I only say negative things. I don't want them to feel like I'm just sitting here and just roasting everybody's tracks. That's not what this is about, right? So here we have Sense of Life by Mind B. And I actually helped him on this track. And I did a private session with him to talk a little bit about the arrangement of this track. And he has now made a final mix and a final master that he's happy with, so that's what I'm going to be listening to. The Sense of Life by Mind B. It is very heavy in the mids here.
Ultimately, the sense of life is something that each person must define for themselves, based on their own experiences, beliefs, and values.
Here also, it feels like you clogged up the mids a little bit too much here. The vocals don't stand out as much as when I heard it last time.
Journey that can change throughout one's life.
That was nice then. That was a good transition. Can I send you a track in wave format? I don't have nitro. Yeah, sure. That's perfectly fine. In Google Drive. Here it's very good mix, very clear mix. I do like this. Nice atmosphere there with the like vocal steps. I think that one particles like bandpasting is a little bit too loud, and also like the rising and downer lead a little bit too loud. Here again, you can hear off. Sometimes it feels like something is like overpowering the limiter. That's not like a mixing issue, it's like a mastering issue. Like you limited it maybe a little bit too strong. Kick and bass, it almost feels like the kick and bass is fluctuating in volume. And that's a little bit that some of the elements are mixed a little bit too loud. But also the limiter pushing. Can I send a track that's incomplete? Yes. You could send the voice recording from your phone and I would give feedback on it. I would then mainly give feedback on the fact that you're deciding to record on your phone, but still. This part is better. This part it feels more uniform. Yeah, here in the break still the volume really doesn't go a lot lower than 0 dB, right? We can see the waveform just basically still being squashed. I also send one that's non-sidetrans. It's perfect. This part is well done. This part is nicely mixed. And also the master seems to work here a little bit better. Because maybe the bass line was initially mixed a little bit lower. And the drums and stuff are mixed well.
Journey that can change throughout one's life as they grow and evolve.
Very cool lead sound. Here again, it feels like the leads are a little bit overpowering. I do really like the sound design, now going to a stereo kind of sound. You can also see how stereo the track is. Usually a sidetrans track is a little bit more mono. So that indicates that your kick and bass is like having trouble coming through the mix. I would have liked to hear something different here. Strange going like back to the old lead. But it does work. think I said this to you before already, like that the bass melody coming in at 7 minutes suddenly. It's the first time we hear a bass melody. That's a little bit strange. We have to get used to a bass melody. I also feel like it doesn't really work from a melody perspective, kind of. Suddenly a bit of delay in there. I would say that there's still like a few rough edges to this track. Elements kind of suddenly popping in, popping out. A few strange decisions. And then there's this weird thing that they did in the first drop with the master. But overall, like the sound design and the overall structure and the quality of the theme is really, really well done. I really like this track. Good stuff. And the chat seems to like it well. As well, I should say. Delalouse. Listen to Count Atlas Ableton 11 Mixdown by Delalouse. Am I saying that right? Delalouse. Cloud Atlas Ableton 11 Mixdown. Let's have a listen. Something a bit darker. Sounds almost like horror music. That's a very bright bass line and kick for something so dark. It really goes from dark to bright, I would say, with the piano as well. It does still have like an eerie vibe to it, but it's happy at the same time. Triplets aren't going to work over 16 notes. You have two conflicting rhythms here. Yeah, if you stick to 16 notes, you can hear that that works better. And now you go to triplet notes on the other thing.
Our lives are not our own. From womb to
very dry vocals.
We are bound to others, past and present.
Theming wise, this track is crazy.
And by each crime and every kindness, we birth our future.
It's like psytrance, but only with real-world instruments. Again, that just no sub. That one bass note is also very loud, the stab. I I do really like the sound design. I was hoping that this would have the right amount of sub bass. And the drums are also way too loud. Drums shouldn't be louder than the kick and bass. Your kick and bass is your main element of the track. That should be the power, right? So the lack of sub and then the drums overpowering it really shouldn't be done. Transients, yeah, they do feel a little bit flicky, but I do like it. The bass line has like high ends all the way up to like 20k, which isn't, that's like unusual. But I mean, it works for this. It's just that it's not followed up with a sub bass. Neither the kick nor the bass line has a sub. And this is C1. C sharp. He's playing this track in C sharp. That's a very strange idea. I would transpose a track like this to D sharp, and then add a add your sub bass, because your first harmonic cannot function as a sub bass. You need like an actual sub bass for the sub bass. Right, because this first harmonic is going to go where? Like it's like 70 hertz or something like that. That's too high. That doesn't work. I hope he's still here. Either way, that's going to be the feedback. Oh, we do get a lot of more tracks here. Another Google Drive one. Cecile, I need access to your thing. I don't know if you're still here. I don't have access to this right now, so I'm going to move on to the next track from Klaus. Ambience. Just named Ambience. Okay. Klaus K with Ambience. Cecile, whoever you are in my chat, you need to give me access to your Google Drive file, otherwise I cannot show it on the stream. Very wide, this track. I think you're going a little bit too hard on the width here with this track. Now it's good. Hey. Now there's like a strong mono component to that beat. This is how it should be. This is how it should sound. Hello, Andre. It's a very nice evolution. Again, this part is a little bit stereo. I was hoping that the lead would continue. Is it too late to submit? Of course not. I'm still here. I still need content. I was hoping that the transition into the break would be a little bit smoother. Just keep the floatiness of it going a little bit more, because you already set it up. You just remove the drums and the bass. Nice pluck lead. I like that. Hello everyone, Projector. I think the problem has been solved. Which problem? Ah, for the Google Drive. Perfect. I can check. Yes. There's 2 tracks in there. Which one should I listen to? Both of them are fairly small. Oh no, both of them are MP3s. Could you choose one? I can listen to both of them, that's okay. Never mind, yeah, no, I'll listen to both of them. Maybe mix it better as well. Yeah, it could use a better... It's the stereo component that I'm fuzzy about. The rest seems okay, right? Both like the usage of the whole spectrum is good. It could add... Can it have a little bit of high-end sizzle maybe? No, it's perfect. Perfect. So yeah, it's the stereo component suddenly, like here, it's like fully stereo. This as well, it's too much, it's actually cancelling now, right, in mono. So that will become significantly quieter in mono because it's more than halfway out of phase. But yeah, I do have time to get back into Step It and Nazar Autrora. Autrora. Am I saying that right? Autrora. Yes, that says Autrora. Can I just play it from here? Or do I need to download it? I don't think I need to download it, yeah. There we are. Sorry for butchering the name. How can I find the submission page? Not at my PC with Discord. You do need Discord to submit, because you submit it in the Discord. We go feedback on stream here on Discord. If you want to get there from the chat directly, !feedback should get you the link. If you have Discord on your phone, then it should just open up the channel on your phone, hopefully. Nice and calming. Strange turnaround. Nice melodic. A little bit more progression would be nice. I don't know if I'm a fan of this bass line. It has very stereo bass line like ideas, but it's completely mono. It has that like gritty mid-range that you would get from a stereo bass line. I do like the guitar as well. Yeah, it's very unique. I hope that the kick is not always this long when the bass line is playing, because that's not going to mix well. It's now it just sounds like the bass line is out of sync with the rest of the track. Wobble bass. Yeah, when it's offbeat and the guitar is on top of it, then I like it. This sounding nice. Somebody screaming outside. if we hear an ambulance in about 2 minutes, then we know that somebody got hit. Suddenly some stereo work. The stereo field has been found. At this point you would need to have a little bit of progression, a fill, different kind of guitar loop, different guitar recording, something like that. Otherwise it just gets a little bit boring. I did really like your intro and I was hoping for a little bit more, so here we are. Honestly, dude, coming off that intro and outro, I would almost say just consider making ambient music, because that was definitely the highlight for me for the track. I know that it's like a little bit weird, but there were a few things in the track, like mainly the stereo bass line being completely mono, because it definitely has that like stereo bass line kind of characteristic. And also just like strange rhythms and stuff like that threw me off in parts of the drop. And then the parts where the guitar were, there wasn't really enough progression, right? So change the chords sometimes, change maybe the top line, stuff like that. But then it's if you fix all of that, then it's a beautiful track. He sent me another one, so let's have now a listen to Delusional. Again, Seb, Pete, I'm sorry if I butchered that, and Nazur with Delusional.
Your own imagination, your own intelligence, your own intelligence.
Not a fan of the kick in the intro,
Immediate response. Once you
but the rest is sounding really nice.
your own imagination, your own intelligence, your own intelligence.
I would have this intro just as an atmospheric part, no? With the low vocals, add delay on the vocals, make the vocals stereo. Again, use the stereo field to your advantage.
Your own imagination.
Hey, that's a different kick. Wait, what's going on here? Is this like techno thing? Okay, that's just a mess. Looking at that kick drum, that became a mess. You could see no transient stuff overlapping. But also I wonder why the aesthetic decision to go so low in volume in the drop. Again, the lead's completely mono. That's unfortunate, because they do have reverb on them, and still they're mono. I think this is multiple kick drums playing after each other, and that's creating the kind of wobble effect.
We are humans. We should be the ones. Humans.
But it sounds really strange because it's just a click and then like low end rumble. The middle part is missing if this is like a techno kick. Right, the techno kick, the rumble sits higher. At around, you like have stuff up until like 150 Hz then on the kick. And a lot more punch in like 200 to like 400 Hz. which is almost non-existent now. It's just like a little click and then. Again, I'm not saying these things only to be negative. I don't call out the positive things because I don't want to continue speaking over the whole track. I do really like all of the atmospheres that you're creating. Again, you would be really good at making ambient music the way that you're producing. There's no drums, no need for a drop. This atmosphere is special, right? Really unique sounding. Although there's like a click, almost like this is like a loop.
Can't stop.
Now that's a punchy kick. You do have too many bass notes. You're using 32 notes. This is a strange experience. I've never heard something like this. And it's no, wait. It's triplets, but then 1/6 instead of no, wait. Because normally it's like 1/12. So this would be 1/24, but only for the offbeat. Yes, it's 132 triplets. That's the right term, which is 124 if I'm not mistaken. And then the drum loop on top is just 16 notes. Some dubious choices in here. It is very unique. I wouldn't say that it's wrong even. Because it's like a gallop, when it's just doing its normal pattern. I'm not a fan of all of the variations, but I do like the bounciness of the normal pattern. Little like hop doesn't really work for me because that last note is so weird in relationship to the kick. And I'm back with this amazing ambient guitar. But I'd also like to see some breaks for energy buildup. Yeah. I mean, the progression is a little bit stale. I do know that he is like changing elements in between, which is good, but a little fill between each of those things, that would be nice. It's some of the instrumentation here is super high quality, and then some of the other things are like very strangely done. It's I don't know, it really has some really cool ideas and some good elements into it. Both of these tracks, these last two that we've listened to. And then there's like one or two odd decisions in there that make me say, okay, what exactly is going on here? But it is interesting, to say the least. We have a lot more lining up here. Andre, your track has not yet posted, I think. Side. We're now at Klaus's. Hey, ambient again? Oh yeah, I listened to that already. Now we're at side mind consciousness. This is psytrance. Yeah, I don't see Andre's track yet. It's not posted for me yet. Oh, you posted in the wrong channel. You posted in the normal feedback channel. Thanks a lot for the feedback. You're welcome. Thank you for stopping by. Nice new stereoscope plugin. It's the same that we've been using, but now it looks good. Because I updated it. There we are. Now the track is in the right place. Very good instrumentation. But the kick and bass is a little bit quiet. Could use 2 more dB, I would say, over the lead elements. Got it into feedback on stream now. Yes, I saw it. It's perfect. Nice stereo play there with that one element. Like fanned left and right. I'm not a fan of the pre-shifted claps. I like my claps tight on the kick and even remove the transient of the clap altogether that is lining up with the kick. Nothing in front of it. Because it needs to be snappy, in my opinion. Also the hi-hats can have a little bit extra, like 10, 12k. Your whole percussion loop actually. Again, you can see it in the top of the waveform here as well, that your instruments are overpowering your kick and bass, right? Now you can see the shape of the kick and bass, you weren't able to see that before. You should always have that somewhat visible. Also that impact is a lot louder than your kick and bass. Your kick and bass is the loudest element of the track. Transition there. I think SoundCloud is compressing it because again I can hear that transient that I talked about before being off. I don't remember whose track it was, but it's the same thing here with this track, and I think it's just the... Oh, that's strange. Yeah, now you cannot hear the kick and bass anymore. That's not good. This is fire though. Yes, I'm not saying that this track is bad. I'm just going over only the negatives to say as least as possible. With the kick compressed by SoundCloud. Yes, yes. Well, the whole track. You just hear it a lot on the kick. drum loop is also a little bit static, I would say. Again, nice transition. Going out of it here in the outro. That's very nice. Overall, good idea. Needs some work on the mix. Is it not -1 dB for SoundCloud? Yeah, but it will compress it either way. So there's nothing that you can do on that. It's not that kind of compressed, though. It's file compression, not like audio compression. Here is a Dark Side track, also from Side, SYDE. This is called Master Stems, a very creative name, obviously commenting on the fact that you need a high consciousness to do stem mastering, I assume. Which is a very interesting title for Psytrance. But it's Dark Side. Oh, this is nice. This is a good kick and bass. Kick could use a little bit of extra high end because you have more high end in your bass than in your kick. I would have my kick be like the darker elements, no? Here the leads, they do seem to fit well. Actually, you could say maybe the atmospheres are a bit loud and the leads could get to 3 more dB this time. I'm on 0.75 speed. It's gonna sound terrible. There is some like overlap between the kick and the bass, and you can see what happens when the kick and the bass overlap and the snare as well. That is peaking. Right, much more than the rest. At this point I would remove that atmosphere, which is constantly doing the same thing. You want a little bit more progression throughout the track like this. Right? Every once in a while you remove the older elements so that newer elements can fit in. And we still have that same atmosphere from the beginning. Nice lead sound. A good indication that your transitions do not really work. Right? You want that to be introduced over a longer time. From the start of a fill to the next fill. That would be where its introduction takes place. Right now it just kind of comes in at the end of a section, at the last quarter, and then it just kind of continues into its section where it should be coming in. dip, we see time on time on the middle spectrometer. Like this thing, that's a kick. This is a kick, and then there's the bass notes, bass sub. Test DC, no, I'm still here. Right? Like this, those are like kick fills. Works again. I think on my end it was okay. I didn't see, yeah, looking at stream health. No issue. Yeah, if a kick fills plays, then that's, you can see that with the little gap there, because the bass note is lower than where the kick ends. I cannot see the problem here on my end. On my end, everything is looking fine now. So I hope that people can join in again. Andre is not back yet. Yeah, just reload the page. Okay. Overall, very nice track. Yeah, I did say some things, but we had some trouble, so I didn't get to listen to the last part. Overall, I would say like the progression, right? The little bit of a lack of progression. What you would usually have is you would have a few progressing elements, and then you would dip out some of the elements. What I heard here is that that atmosphere kind of comes in at the start, and it just sits throughout the whole portion of the track. And you get used to it so much that it almost becomes like annoying to listen to, because it's the same thing over and over again. It's like in a conversation, if somebody continuously says the same thing to you when you're having a discussion, right, you want to move on with the discussion. In that way, the music is very similar, because it's telling you like a musical story. And if you just keep on hammering on the same things, then the story doesn't progress. And in psytrance, it is very important to have like an evolving soundscape, not just the soundscape, not just the atmosphere, but have that one atmosphere play a certain part of the drop, and then maybe part without an atmosphere where you have your leads come through a little bit more, maybe then a part where you have a different atmosphere so that you can say, oh, something atmospheric has changed. So that's like how you write progressive or like progressive music for psytrance. People say that Dark Side is not like progressive psytrance, but the progression still exists within each form of psytrance. Even though one psytrance is specifically named after the idea, it does still apply to all forms of psytrance. It's not like a Dark Side track can just start with a kick and bass, continuously play kick and bass and the same drums for 8 minutes straight, and then close off with an outro. You do want something to change every once in a while. Either the drums, the leads, the melodies, the sound effects, the atmospheres, all that kind of stuff. Pluton 94. This is a snippet, 50 seconds. I wonder what this is. This is cool. Very open sounding mix. Because you lack so much mid-range up until now. It has very nice, open, bright feeling. I like that. That's very good. Very Klaus style track. I do approve of this. How much more do we have? We have one more track from Psy. 10 minutes. Holy shit. I do need to go to the bathroom at some point. It's been 2 hours, so I'll try to keep it up and hold it up. Work in progress will be longer. I would assume so, yeah. Very mono asset line. Make that stereo. I'll put the 2-hour track someday. I don't doubt you will. Knowing you. It's strange, some of these elements are very, very stereo, and then some of them are so mono that they... It's like you went, I'm going to take stereo mono separation and I'm going to go all in, right? Like some are just completely mono, and some tracks are very wide. And that means that the stereo mix and the mono mix don't really mix well together. Like even this vocal, that in the center.
Many scientific theories propose that there could be thousands or even millions of advanced civilizations in our galaxy. The evidence and probability suggest that we are not alone in this universe.
Here, do you hear that sudden stereo effect? That sounds very strange. Because we associate this vocal with mono because it was always mono, and then it becomes stereo. Kick and bass cleanliness is something to watch out for. Bassline has very little transient, very little punch. Which, I mean, it could work for this kind of laid-back atmospheric style. Again, this ARP is fully mono. I would suggest adding some stereo width to that. Stereo play is indeed very, very important. But yeah, it's a little bit. It's not to like a worrying extent, I would say. You can still hear what everything is doing and what everything is meant to be. Whose track is this? This is Psy. Should be in chat. Ulif. That's a new name. I think. There's like one loud element there. So that's like one element that you definitely would need to tame. Remove some of the mid frequencies, lower the volume a little bit, because it just completely overpowered your kick and bass. quicker range for feedback. Okay. I will still give you critiques on it if you don't mind. Nice chords here. Ooh, I like this. Everybody's doing really well with the atmospheric parts today. How many BPM? I would say at least 3. I think everybody should become ambient producers because again, this ambience is very nice. If you do your stereo mix properly. Because these lower frequencies, these should become a bit more mono, and then your like higher frequencies from the pad can be a bit more stereo. And then the synth itself also needs stereo information at that like higher frequency. You should come up with ambient too. Next challenge, I'll do an ambience challenge. Shall we do that? I think that would be fun. Klaus Klambient. I would love to hear it continue in this ambience with the kick and bass a little bit. Not like yesterday, 5 losses in a row. If you're losing in league, don't come crying to us, because we are high EQ CSGO players. We don't associate with league players. Just kidding. I have played it in the past. Fairly recently, actually. Either way, yeah, good luck with your games. Yeah, I can see this track really shine if it gets a good mix. I think the mix is holding it back because the sound design is good, the overall structuring is nice, you're having some changes between segments, so that's very, very nice. That's a very dark sound summary. For all of those one-off sounds, you should make sure that they like volume mix properly, because some of them are overpowering your kick and bass. Like this one, you can see it in the waveform, right? The waveform suddenly becomes a lot louder. Here again. That one too. Thanks for going through projects, I need to work on that. You're welcome. I hope that my advice and my feedback can help you, because that's the reason why I do it. Maybe one of the things that can help you in your mix a little bit is turning the kick and bass up 1.5 decibels to start off with. So that will just make it different, like the volume difference between the intro breaks and the actual drops a little bit more like bigger. That's actually a fairly easy word. I don't know why I struggle with that sometimes. We have 2 more tracks before I'm going to take a bathroom break. Another 2-minute track. This is In Work, No Name Yet. This is a comment on modern day society, how everything is unfinished, and therefore also this track is, I assume. Nice standard kick and bass. Very Clausian kind of instrumentation. Strange sound design. Little bit of strange like progression from one to the other, very dark, almost metallic kind of sound into this very sweet and melodic kind of sound. This track is from Klaus. I do like this part a little bit more than that last one, I'm gonna be honest. I'm not 100% sold on the metallic sound. Drum part here. I think one of the things here that is a little bit strange is that the transient from your bass line is maybe a bit too strong. It will end abruptly. I did notice that, yes. The transient for your bassline is a little bit strong. I would suggest at around 10k, like putting a low pass filter on it, maybe even like 8k, something like that, because it doesn't really need that very high frequencies. Once you're starting to add the heads and stuff like that, they're going to be clashing and annoying together because that's where your heads are supposed to be. So I wouldn't have this strong of a transient for the bassline. Yours ends abruptly too. It does seem to do that, yeah. There seems to be a little bit of an outro, but that will be okay. Challenge stream continued. I don't have a joke by that. A bit quiet. I like the swing of it, I like the atmosphere of it. The only thing that's a bit strange is that A, your bass is louder than your kick. And two, some of the one-shots that you're using aren't realigned to the kick and the bass. If you're going for such a strong 1/8 theme, which I enjoy, you should make sure that everything is like aligned to it. In terms of all of those one-shots. Was that the feedback I gave last time? I'll explain a little bit like what I mean later. Here again we have like a kick and bass or a bass line without any transients. Seems to be a little bit of a trend today. But it's not bothering me. Get a nice amount of space from it for this very dark kind of sound. But it does seem like very swingy, very festive, almost like old school. I do like it. Okay, I'll very quickly try to explain what I meant with that. If I get my own like kick and bass, do I have it here still somewhere? Oh yeah, obviously the bassline crashed, so that doesn't work. If I take my own instrument rack, auto bass, I'll make this thing later. I don't have the energy to do that now that it crashed. If I go like this, and then I quickly need to go into this serum here and go 8, 8. If this is your baseline, right, a 1/8 note kind of thing, and you take those one shots, do I still have those? Yes. If I take this and I just try to line it up, you're always going to have issues with parts of the sound not lining up, because now this is lined up, right? But this isn't, because this is not lined up with either this part of the beat or this part of the beat. So you would just have to delete like that. If you then duplicate it over a bunch of times, you could maybe go for a variation like this one, and you just want 8 notes of it. Maybe something like that. Also don't want to extend this. It might even be necessary to add some fades to the end. Obviously disregarding volume. Something like this. Maybe a bit. Something like that already like has that bouncy rhythm to it, right? Because everything is lined up and made sure that like the starting point is clearly the starting point of the sound. Not something like this where if you line it up here you have this little bit and then the main thing of it. There might be even better examples. Yeah, this is a good example where there's like a slide into it. You cannot really line this slide up properly. No bathroom break? Yes, bathroom break. Now bathroom break. I just wanted to show you guys that. I think I can use my own analyzers for the track that I can play now. Yes, I'll play this track. This is my upcoming track with Mind B. It's going to be released on, I think, the 9th is the date that we have set. So the 9th of April, this track should come out, I believe. I'd need to look back into my files. I haven't started working on the promotion yet. So that's where I'm starting today. This is a track that I made with MindB. And it's going to come out very, very soon on all platforms. I'll put on the analyzers. That should work. Yes. I'll be right back. In the meantime, you guys can submit more tracks if you want to.
Our galaxy is made up of some 400 billion stars. And at least 100 billion planets. How many are like Earth?
Why don't we see signs of alien civilizations?
Glad to see you guys all like the new track. Yes, this track is still unreleased, but it will release very, very soon. And it's playing again. We don't want that. I mean, we could, but I should be listening to your guys' productions. Exclamation point feedback for anybody who's new. You can put your track in here, and then I will listen to said track and I will give feedback. Honestly, I have no intentions of making that patch again right now, because I'm annoyed at the fact that after 30 minutes it just crashed and we lost it. It fills every possible part in the headroom, whatever it's called. Yes, it's mastered. So it's loud and stuff. To be honest, I don't really know what to do now. I don't want to make that patch again. I do have all of the resources to make it again. I just have an unfinished one where I don't know how to go on. That's exactly what we need. Let me fix up this project again quickly. I'll probably make this off stream then, with the sound factory here, but I'm not going to make it again. I'll bounce it. Nice. I mean, I could start. I know what to do now, right? First of all, the globals can be set properly. We can start with our generator. The whole idea was we have the two different wavetables that we switch between. I mean, I can try to get it as soon as possible. We put our filter in here. Can I already do a volume thing here? I guess I could do that with the volume in here This just goes to minus infinity. Yeah. Okay. So the way that I'm going to do that then is attack 1 will be for the volume. Attack 1. We'll have attack 2 and 3 go to here. I am going to make it. I said I wouldn't, but I am going to. Get frequency. Get this. Let's set that to like 80. No, 100. That should be a good setting. And then we can apply attack number 2 and 3 for the click. The way I did the click was like this, I think. Just setting that. If it's up, then it's not modulating, I think. So this went like that, and then this inverted. Should be. This is going to set our like attack level. Then we had one that was set to frequency up until like there. I should name these already. So this is the click. I'm just going to name that. I'm not going to build the interface. This is going to be cutoff end. Why don't I use search that much? The reason why I don't use search, or why I don't use your favorite synth, is because I have like a collection of synths that I'm familiar with and that I'm comfortable with. And I'm not trying to learn too much and not really learn anything in detail. So I might use search in the future, but right now I'm happy with Faceplant, Vital, Serum mainly, and I'm now working with M Sound Factory a little bit more. So I already have 4 synths that I would need to learn, right? And obviously like Serum, I already know a lot of stuff. But I do want to take it one synth at a time, and I think that that's the best approach. RMS coming through with a track. I'm going to spend a little bit of time working on this, and then I'll get back to actually like listening to some tracks and doing feedback. Once we have a few tracks built up, like we had before. Okay, so this is going to go to phasing, and we're just going to select this parameter and this one. Perfect. Should go to the end, right? Yeah. Are people saying goodbye? I don't know who's leaving from the chat messages. Either way, whoever is leaving or staying here. No, whoever is leaving, see you guys. I just sent an idea, it's in the very beginning. Perfect, yeah. Once we have a few tracks, I'll start listening to them. Right now we need to do... How did I do this again? Did I do this with the mod? I think I did this with this here, right? This set to square. Synchronized 1/4, and then you learn it to this one and this one, and the input 2 has to go down, and here this one has to go down, I think. Andre is leaving. Okay, see you, Andre. Thank you for sticking around. Oh yeah, there it is. Okay. I need to create all 3 of the attacks. So this is volume. Do I still have the kick and bass loaded? Yes. Should be like normal. And then we can turn this on. little bit lower. Why is this such low volume now? This is going to silence. It's because my filter isn't doing anything, I think. So this is going to be like your standard filter. Like this, and then... Oh. Yeah, something like that, I would say. And this will be our extra click at the beginning. Both of these need to be synced to 16 notes. All three actually. Attack number 2 is going to be synced to 16 notes. And then attack number 1 is going to be synced to 16 notes. And I need to set the amount. I have something in my ear. Everything is like scratchy for me now. I don't understand why it's so low in volume. This is at -12. That's it. And these two need to have their phase set as well. Which I guess for this patch might be interesting to just go all the way up for both of them. I can set that in here. Maximum one lower than the maximum possible. Perfect. Phasing. The initial phase. Hello, Gabriel. Welcome. So this should be doing the volume then, right? If I go in here, it should actually start at 0 and then go all the way up. Yeah, now it's applying the volume. I can open up SciScope to look at it. Did I make this wavetable on my own? I did make this wavetable on my own, yes. This is the wavetable from the patch that I used. This is the patch that I used for the cleanest baseline, the cleanest possible baseline, for those who remember. Oh, I need to set the phase here to 0. That's right. Now it should keep the sub. Yes, perfect. Okay, we can do a little bit of gain staging on this by just upping the output like 9 dB, I think. Let me check that. Zoop. Yes. I think what this means is that it's a little bit too much volume shape, I think. If I go to attack 1. It's still like taking it away from it. There's still something set in the generators or something? Or does that just have fully to do with the fact that this is so low? If I set this here, it's still like lowering in volume over time. Which, I mean, it should do, but I don't know why it's still doing it, even though I'm not telling it to do it right now. What's going on right now? I'm just working on like a very complex bass patch idea. I'm waiting for a few different tracks to come in. We do have 3 tracks right now. Yes. I mean, I can listen to some more tracks. There will be more submissions in the meantime, right, while I'm listening. Projects, I'm quickly going to save this. Today is the whole idea is to take my cleanest possible baseline patch, the one that I made in this video. Give me 2 seconds, I'll find said video for you. Content. Next page. With the shorts being on the same page, it takes a long time to find normal videos. I wish they had a separate shorts page in YouTube Studio. This video here, this is the cleanest possible bass patch. What I want to do is I want to translate that bass patch into here. Yeah, but I will be getting back into feedback. It is safe now, so I'm not scared to open up Signalizer anymore. I remade a master for my track. Feedback is over. No, feedback is not over. Just a kick and bass. And here's the track. This one seems to be glitching out a little bit. Very good soundscape, I like it. That's a little bit low in volume. You're gonna have vocals, they need to be on top of the mix, on top of all of the other like lead elements that are going on in that part of the drop.
Don't get me wrong, drugs can be dangerous, but they can also be hilarious.
Nice vocal. I like this. It's a very good atmosphere, very good track. Nice. Very nice. Next up we have Klaus again with Air. Very punchy kick right out of the gate. That thing really slaps you in your face, doesn't it? The first kick was a lot louder than the rest. That's strange. This part sounds or feels a little bit muddy. Now it's gone again, obviously. But that transition point between these two elements should just be fill, one element stops, the other one starts. Yeah, it is a very short snippet. But it's a nice track overall. And we have some more stuff. Alom Tas, 140 BPM progressive Psy, trying to capture the vibe from 2013 and before with a modern touch. Interesting. This one is mastered, it seems. Okay, so first rule for me is vocals. If you're having vocals and you want to say something, they should be mixed in a way that they are understandable. Loud enough. Even this vocal, a little bit louder could be possible because some of the other elements are louder than it. It's not mastered. It does look very loud in the waveform. And very squashed. It does have that squashed feeling, but it does seem to just come from the mix. Here again you have those vocals which we as humans distinctly hear as vocals, so we're trying to understand them, and then they're so quiet that we cannot really understand what they're saying, you know? Because we are like psychologically drawn to the voice of speech, if you're going to use speech in your tracks, it needs to be understandable. Otherwise we get confused as humans, trying to understand what's being said. Again, I'm not pointing out all of the things that I like because I don't want to continuously talk over the track, and if I were to point out things that I like in this track, I would just be continuously talking. So that's why I only point out the negatives. Definitely catching that kind of old school vibe. But this mix is very clean with the high end. Sounds nice. Good use of the stereo mix, even though my stereo analyzer is like spazzing out now. I don't know what's going on with the stereo analyzer, but the baseline cleanup helped me a lot. Thank you so much for those videos. Thank you. Glad that you enjoyed them. Glad they could help you create this. It does look, yeah, the baseline, when it comes to the baseline, it's absolutely clean, so very well done. Bass note frequency is kind of high. You could go an octave lower. That does not really have that classical feeling. I know that the higher octave is kind of like the classical bit. But for D sharp, you could go lower an octave. Where can you find my bassline patch? On my Patreon. Nice progressive bit. That one bass note is a little bit loud. The slide thing. You can see it also messing a bit with your transient. Okay, only for patrons? Yes. But the video is still up. For everybody, obviously. Nice clean mix. Apart from like very small details, like I said, with the slide bass being louder than the kick. And messing with the kick transient. Everything else is very well done. I think this lead sound is becoming a little bit boring. So it's nice that we're going to something new here. Nice squire. There was a little bit of like muddiness in that last bit when all of the leads were playing. Kind of strange what you're doing here with the spectrum. I don't know if that's like a bug. It's strange that everywhere it has like the glow around the harmonics except for there. I don't know why that would be. Nice track. I like it. This is Synthesia Alomtas. I think in the chat it's Gabriel Velbaum, if I'm not mistaken. But they're all in here. If you guys enjoy a track that I'm listening to, they're always in here, right? So you can always find them back. We have the new master for Sense of Life, which we already listened to, but maybe the feedback is now implemented.
Life is something that each person must define for themselves. Based on
here I would say that still the instruments are a little bit too much on top of the vocal. The vocal should come out a little bit more.
It is an ongoing journey that can change throughout one's life.
I don't remember anymore what I exactly gave as feedback the last time, but it's sounding very clean now. This is sounding good, yeah. Maybe that rising lead is still a little bit on the loud side. That rising lead and that's going down now again. That would be the other thing. Some of the fills seem like really loud. But that pressing kick and bass issue is no longer present. So that's nice. Yeah, that rising and downing lead, I would lower that a little bit. This is sounding nice. I like it. Stereo field is sounding good to me. No issues there. Here it's becoming a little bit overwhelming with all of the elements that you're going on. The choir on top. Almost, it's taking a little bit too much away from the kick and bass. Like right now. Oh, for the stereo it's all the time. I haven't heard any issues. This is sounding very good.
It is an ongoing journey that can change throughout one.
Here the vocals are good again as well. This is good vocal mixing. It was just in the intro when the other instruments are playing. That's the annoying bit of mixing. A volume setting that works for one point does not necessarily work for the other point. Yeah, this is the part that I find very, very nice. This now works very well. kick and bass are a bit too loud? No. I don't think so. It's in a few parts there's other elements that are a little bit too loud. I think I outlined that, right? Is that the track from Asterix? No, it's just might be. Just people from the community making this good music. Was meant as compliment. This is a nice bit as well. As I said, I'm not a fan of the bassline melody suddenly coming in at like minute 7. But when it comes to overall sound design and feeling, it does work well. No limiter issues. No, limiter is set well. Loudness is nice. It almost has like an Asian, like Chinese vibe to it with some of the instruments I hear. Nice. I like that. Definitely an improvement. We have another Klaus track, then we have Otto, and then we have what was his name again in the chat? Gabriel. Pyramids. This is ambience once again. Very nice chords. Time to relax now. Yes, indeed. I will try to do so. The storytelling in this is really good. The whole melodic setup up until now. I do think that maybe every once in a while you want a part without that sweep. I don't know if that's still coming, like that very high-end sweep up and down, so that you can go only like the melodic part. Don't relax too much, minus 162 BPM. I will use yours to wake up again. Now it changes vibe completely. That's very nice. Almost like trailer music, but a lot slower. does feel a little bit stereo in places. Right, maybe here it's a little bit too stereo almost. Lacking a little bit of like bass, a little bit of sub, and then obviously all of the wide pads and stuff coming in. That makes it very, very stereo. I'll still work on the mixing of this. Okay. Enough said. Then. Strange. It feels like sometimes the chords don't play for like one section. Like here the chords clearly are changing. And sometimes it feels like they don't. I don't know if that's intentional, but it's something that just catches your attention. Really nice track. I really like that. Please don't autoplay to the next one. It will autoplay to the next. Otto, he's going to wake me up again with the genius track name 000341 for the feedback. I wonder what those numbers mean. Either way, we're going to wake up again with 162 BPM psytrance from Dippigus, who always has a very particular skill into propping as much sound into a track and making very energetic tracks. (162 BPM double timing, yes. It's crazy sound design already. Bass, very clean. More than enough space for all the elements that he has. For a little moment there, it felt like all of the sounds were like playing a 16 note behind the kick. I don't know if I like that sound. It's kind of still happening. Every once in a while there's like one or two sounds that sound out of sync. And I think it's the thing that I said before, with it playing slightly late with respect to the kick. I think it's all of the mid-range, like sweepy things that we're hearing. That is what's causing it for me. Nice transition. Ooh. This part already, yeah, it sounds a lot more synchronized. That's good. think your hi-hats could be mixed a little bit brighter. Give it a little bit of extra, like 10k. They don't really poke through the mix. Very much has this breathing feeling that I like about all of your tracks. So it has all of the synths and the atmospheres kind of moving in the same way, which is sounding really good. I do really enjoy this. This is Dippygus. Obviously, like Dippygus and Klaus are, I guess, the two people who have their very own, very unique kind of style. Klaus obviously being Klaus, and then Dippygus with his crazy sound design and very dense, complex tracks. Ooh. Oh wow. That was a very prolonged transition. I like it. And now everything still has that in-sync feeling. So there were a few moments at the beginning of the track that had that. I'm just being Klaus, am I? Yes, but in a good way. In your unique sound design and like melodic arrangement kind of way. Very cool. Very much your style. I like it very much. We have some more stuff. We have Gabriella again. Oh, issue here. Cannot find the track. You need to share the private link. If you go to a private track, you need to go here and then share it with the link that you can find down below here. Not the one that's up here, because normally the one that's up here is just this, and with the shareable link, there's this part in it as well that it needs, because otherwise it will just say, oh, it's a private track, like it says with your track. So I cannot listen to your track right now, unfortunately. Let's see now if we can listen to it. Or did you update the link? Yes, there it is. Eye of the Desert. That's what I can find. Nice sound design here. Very clean. Very clean. I like the vocal mix as well. It's clear that we're not meant to understand those vocals because it's mixed loud enough for us to do so, which is very good. Hey, may I ask for feedback on the beat? Of course. Exclamation point feedback. And then I will help you with whatever feedback you need. Not really a fan of the kick in the bass. Could be cleaned up a little bit. But everything that's sitting on top is sounding really nice. Nice mix with the high end. That's well done. It should bring you right to the right place to do feedback. Feedback on stream, there. If you post it there, then I can see it. Very good, very clear distinction of elements. I like that. Even though this is like the busiest part, you have like one element at a time, so you can really take it in. Bassline just feels a little bit floppy, I don't know. Like it doesn't really have the right transient to it. Maybe some strange layering going on or strange processing. But to be honest, up until now this has been the only complaint. I see a very threatening image on my third monitor now. The duck has a knife. Oh, that's his profile picture too. Interesting choice. I'd say this track is like not too high energy, which I like. It's almost kind of like groovy, right? Instead of like the very high intense kind of sidetrance that we just heard. But I mean, it's hard to not make relaxed sidetrance if you're going after Deepigus. Here the acid line, why is it completely mono? Wouldn't it be nice to give that a little bit of stereo width so that it doesn't really sit on top of what the kick and the drums are doing? Just that little bit of extra stereo width. Because you know that how you can express like the stereo width, the mono sound you really hear here in the middle of like your head when you're wearing headphones. And all of the stereo part is on the sides. You can almost think of that you can place sounds in spaces like this. So reverbs and stuff like that are very wide, and your kick and your drums is in the middle, and then you place your leads like right to the side of it instead of right on top. So you're creating this space within the listener's head if they're listening to it on headphones. Because that effect is a little bit lost when you're going to speakers. Very cool vocal elements. These are the kinds of vocals that I wouldn't say need to be mixed on top of everything, because it's like an atmospheric thing. It's not a spoken vocal, right? For spoken vocals, I will always say you need to mix it so that we can understand what it's saying, or we can understand that it's not supposed to be understood, right? If it's like a glitchy thing or stretched up or whatever. It's just a cry and a reverse delay. Yeah, in that sense, we don't really need to understand what the vocal is saying, because it's not saying anything. We still hear that it's a vocal, but you can get away with having it a little bit lower in the mix. I skipped one of yours. Yes, because he posted it first, and then his first link didn't work. So I went to his second link that he sent, and then I'm going to go back to yours. I did go in order, but because his link didn't work, he posted the link after you, but he was also before you at the same time. It's like the Heisenberg uncertainty principle, or like Schrodinger's cat thing, but with your placement in the queue for the feedback. It's quantum physics up here. Let's now listen to your track. Ammonite by Klaus K. Another ambient production by the sound of it. Stereo width, a little bit on the wide side on that ARP. Don't mind the stereo width thing here, by the way. This one is broken. Seems to break after a little bit. You generally want to have your lower mids, the like 300 and below, 400s, that kind of area. You want that more mono, and then obviously the sub completely mono. You want it to be like an upside down pyramid. And what I'm hearing here is that you have very stereo, very like low mid-range kind of thing. Now it's okay. This sound is okay again. Here we also have a nice high end. So this is a very nice part. Suddenly the main sounds drop out. Yeah, this sound, you can hear it again, the lower frequency sitting in the stereo part. Nice. I like that high-end texture towards the end as well. That's really cool. Not many elements yet. I wouldn't go much wilder on the elements, to be honest. The amount of elements. Okay, so now we're going to get threatened by a plushy duck with a knife. This is the chick that flies with What's the Plan, Batman. Very nice profile image. I just want to highlight the threatening stares that I'm getting. There's a few more of those profile pictures on the Discord. But let's hear what this is.
Yeah, 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 Yeah.
Oh, this is like an actual beat.
Relax your mind, you can flow with me. Take your time. Yeah, take your time.
Vocals are a bit quiet, I would say.
Batman in the Batcave again. Trying to stop all these villainous men. Timid as fuck.
There's like this mid-range kind of squeaky thing that's
know who I am. Told myself it was just part of the plan. I was
taking it up.
praying for friends. Now I got headers for making a man. Now I got headers for making a man. Yeah. Now I got headers for
Are the vocals being sidechained to the kick?
relax your mind. You can flow.
That's strange, because normally the vocals in like hip-hop and trap are like the most important thing. I wouldn't sidechain it to the kick, to be honest. Normally what you do with like hip-hop either way is that they make the whole beat and then they mix in the vocals. So now it's hard to understand what is being said, which, I mean, given that it's rap, I would assume that that's the point. I don't know. I don't listen to hip-hop, but from what I've heard, the occasional like track, the idea is that you do hear the person rapping. I come from a lo-fi background. It does sound very lo-fi, and it's a very nice track. Again, what I'd like to do when I do these feedback streams is I don't point out the positive sides, because if I were to point out the positive sides of a track, like everything that I like, A, that's not really feedback, that's not really room for improvement, and B, I would be constantly talking over the track that other people are trying to listen to. I did talk over this whole thing, but I do try to follow that principle. Okay, so Deepigus has another track. How long have I been live for? It's 3.5 hours. I think I'll listen to this one. It's another 7 minutes, and then I think that will be it for today. Thanks for the tips. You're welcome. Glad you were stopping by. Nice to have some non-Psytrance stuff every once in a while.
Except for those people down there, you might be the only living creatures in the whole world.
Very dark. The vocals were a little bit too quiet, again. Vocals, as I said, understandable. They have to be that. My stereo analyzer is really going crazy on this track, by the way. Look at this. Very detailed production, I like it. Too much bass? I mean, for like a dark track it does work. With the atmospheres and the like darker synths that you have, I don't see this being too dark. If I would say something about the mix is that I think the hi-hats are a little bit weak, because A, they're very very short because they have to do those very small rolls, and also they don't really have a peak here in the spectrum, so they could use a bit more, especially now that the louder synths are playing. I know that it's part of the style, but at some point the full high energy part for me just needs to stop, and like the hi-hats need to come out and all of that stuff so that you can build it up again. Of course, me being a fan of progressive, it's easy for me to say that because that's what progressive is. So I do that, understand that it works for this style. But it's getting a little bit crazy for me as well. This is not Klaus, this is Dippy Goose. Klaus also submitted another track. It is ever evolving and it does keep on being interesting. Here, vocals again. We can hear that there's vocals playing. I can hear that there's vocals playing. And here I should be able to understand them. Because that's really the point of vocals. If they're not there to tell the story, then what are they doing, right? I do really like this kick and bass as well, the nice darkness that it has. Because I don't progress in the energy so much in this one. Yeah. They're mangled to death while the beat is playing just rhythmically. Yeah, that's not that's not my point. My point is that vocals, when used as an instrument, when it's not for storytelling, when you have these kind of glitchy, rhythmical kind of vocals, they need to be loud enough for us to hear that that's what's going on. Because right now they are in the dark, like below in the mix, not like the main element at that point. So we do hear that there are vocals. So then our mind automatically goes, oh, somebody is saying something in this part of the track. That must be important because it's, you know, a vocal. We're used to listening to voices in all kinds of music. In most forms of music require some form of singing, which is usually the main element of the track. So, and even like from an evolutionary standpoint, we're biased towards listening for other humans. So when we hear like speech and something like that, even when it's like mangled up, we can still hear the tonality and the features that make it a vocal, right? And we're trying to decipher what is being said. So either if you're mangling it up, you need to make it as loud that we can understand that it's a vocal that we are not meant to listen to. Or if it is storytelling material, then obviously it should be loud enough for us to hear what is being said so that we can follow the story. I wanted to prepare the people to listen to the break. I would even say, like, maybe in the little break thing, it's a little on the loud side. Can I find it again? Yeah, I would even say, like, in the break, it's a little bit on the quiet side. Time to rock with no guitars. Okay, this is going to be the very last track. I will not be peer pressured into listening to any more tracks. No, after this I have to go. I have to edit videos for you guys for next week. Very experimental kind of thing here with the clicks and such. I think it's the same thing that I would say with the last track you submitted, in that the lower mids are a little bit too wide for my liking. And also in this one the kick and bass doesn't really come out. We need 10k subs in this channel. I do agree. It's definitely like a very Klaus song with the warmth that you've managed to put in here. Very nice. I have a lot of problem with everything through stereo. Do you mix on headphones by chance? Because on headphones stereo sounds very, very good. Like this sounds very good now to me, but I know that it's not going to work. Yes, and headphones almost always. Yeah, that's the problem with headphones, is that it's binaural and not real stereo. Which makes stereo sound a lot nicer than it would be on like speakers. But the idea is there. I mean, in terms of overall sounds and stuff like that, is again a very, very nice track. Yeah, now the kick and bass is coming out. So the kick and bass definitely needs a little bit more volume in this mix. I feel like the mix needs to be done a bit better on this one. Oh, it's auto playing again. That's not what I want. I'm gonna end it here. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream for today, and do I have anything to promote? Yes, obviously today I posted another video which I think is kind of interesting because it talks about workflow changes. It does specifically talk about like saturation, but at the end there is a little bit of a talk by me about changing your workflow and what that means and how you actually like improve your music production, what kind of things you need to do. So if you haven't checked out today's video yet, make sure that you check it out. Next week I will be again posting hopefully 4 videos, and I will say this again, I'll try to stream twice, but last week, or actually yeah, this week, it's still Sunday, so this week I had a lot of issues with getting set up and streaming in the right time. And I don't want to vary too much from the schedule, like I don't want to go live at 9 in the evening, something like that. So I couldn't do it. Maybe that will be the same this week, because I am still working on the thumbnails. But that's everything I needed to say. Yeah, and I'll just try to go live as much as possible. But that's going to be it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye bye.